Hey guys, Dave and Len here. Today we played SPQR. This is from Richard Berg and Mark Herman. Why don't you start it up since he read the rules, I just played it.
It's called SPQR. It's about the battles of the Roman Republic. A lot of them are focused on the Punic Wars, but they're also, in this edition, they include the wars against Pyrrhus, and also the wars against the Samnites and Gauls and a few other fun people like that. So it's supposed to give you an idea of what Rome was like before they became a world power, where not every battle was a sure victory. So.
Yeah, the one good thing I will say about it is it does have battles you wouldn't normally play in a war game. Like we played the Samnite battle against the Samnites. I don't remember ever playing a hex and shit game where there was a battle against the Samnites.
Yeah, they had 3 wars against them. So they finally overcame. Their big thing was during the social wars, they allied with, which side was it? Oh, Marius against Sulla. And when they lost that battle, they became absorbed into the Roman Empire.
Yeah, as far as gameplay, the problem with the gameplay is there's too many informational markers, and it's to the point where, I mean, you'd be like, is that my troops there? Or, you you didn't even know which troops were yours because everything had an informational marker on top of it. Is ridiculous. I would call the game borderline unplayable. I mean, it is playable, but it's... borderline unplayable probably isn't fair. Very clumsy. That would be that would be how I would describe it. But I mean, yeah. Is there fun to be had in it? Yeah. But I think most game designers would have done this game completely differently.
Yeah, because like for instance, when you're moving into attack with your legion cohorts. First, you roll a quality check for the attackers and the defenders. And what happens there is that the attack goes through, but if you roll too high, you lose a cohesion point. And then we throw javelins at each other, which might cause another cohesion point. And then we have the clash of swords, where we find out which table we're on and which one has attack or defense superiority, and then you roll the dice and you get it afflicts cohesion points, but you may still be around. So and if you get too many, you do rout.
And the routing in this, you're not immediately off the map. You move back some, and then each turn, if you don't reorganize, then you keep going, and if you get off the map, then your unit is just gone.
Oh, one thing, this game has much detail about command structure. It has a whole list. Okay, your overall leader can issue orders or do command a line and things like that. And your subordinates have certain limitations and so forth, which in certain ways is kind of good, but you have to really read that to get down right. In the middle of the battle, it says, okay, what the tribunes? Okay, yeah. So.
And you don't get a feel for playing an ancient game with all the informational markers and stuff. It just looks like a mess when you're looking at the board. It did not feel like I was playing an ancient game at all. And most of that was due to the visuals are just complete crap with all the informational markers. So like I said before, half the time we had to lift up the informational marker to look underneath to see whether it was my unit or his unit and stuff. So
yeah, so I don't know. Would you recommend this game?
I think the people, for myself and people who like the games that I do, no. But however, there are people who would like this. If you're like the type of person who likes whose favorite publishing company is GMT Games, you would probably like it. Or if Richard Berg is your favorite author, you would probably like it. But people who are not into those games, I don't think would like it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it has a lot of detail, which for some people that would actually make it a more fun game than just I move up adjacent to you. We compare combat ratios. You know, you get the ratio, roll the dice. But you know, there's a little logic in it, because one thing that and maybe was also frustrating with this battle, the leadership is not too great on either side. You know, if we had a Hannibal or Scipio pushing half the army around, maybe we'd have a different feel.
Oh, there was one other thing that I did like, though, the momentum rolls. Like sometimes you can move a second time if if you're able to roll for momentum, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, because I think he's the one that used it. He knocked off 2 Samites and then moved on to another 2, inflicting heavy losses. At that point, I said, okay, we got a good idea what the system is like. Do we really want to go? Because in this battle, the Samites have like 11 counters, while the Romans have 30. And it's like, and it's a hard one. The Samites won historically, but it was a hard battle. So I'm thinking this was a smaller battle. So I'm thinking when you're doing Cannae or Zama, it's going to be difficult.
So would you recommend it?
I'd recommend it, but be forewarned. It's more complex than most games.
I think if they changed 2 things in the game, it would have been a hell of a lot better. Number one, get rid of the goddamn hex maps. You don't need hex maps in ancient games, period. Just have squares. And the other thing is, like I said, is change the mechanics where you don't need all those silly informational markers. If those 2 things were done, I think it would probably been a good game.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I'm trying to remember which game had a square. Well, the thing is, it had information.
Well, Avalanche Press has those ancient games with squares.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking, it had information counters, but the thing is, when you have a unit in a square, you put your information counters behind it, and it seems like less clutter.
Yeah, it would be. And one thing I can't stand about hex maps in ancient games, or in black powder games for that matter, is you can't have visually, you can't really have a line. I mean, you got one counter slightly in front of the other and stuff. I mean, there's no like real line, so it just kills the visuals for the game. That's why one of the reasons I prefer miniature games so much more for ancients, as the visuals are so much better. It actually feels like you're playing an ancient game. This isn't the only ancient game I've played where it did not feel like like you were playing an ancient game. There's been quite a few others too.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's okay, but be forewarned that it's going to be a little work. It may take a while, but you may like the detail.
All right, guys, that's all we got. Play something new next time.
Okay.